How often do you get a great idea and then not see it through? And what makes you give up on it? For me, in school and in the beginning of my career, when I first entered the workforce, I can say that things came to me pretty naturally. I skipped 3 grades, I learned to read at 2, and I started acting and modeling from the time I was a baby all the way until high school. Now, in my childhood, my life definitely had some challenges, don't get me wrong, but it's safe to say that things came pretty easily. Even with this channel, it grew so fast and I was so excited because it's something that I'm so passionate about. But I think over time, the struggle came when it was time to specialize and niche down. My whole life was spent being multi-passionate, so I didn't really know how to narrow that down into a career. I worked in healthcare, education, fitness, wellness, social media, and I never truly felt fulfilled in these areas. I know it never quite made sense to a lot of people in my life why I never just went back to school and picked one thing, why I didn't become a doctor, why I didn't become a nurse, and kind of give myself that stable 9-to-5 job. But when I was working in all these different fields, I learned 2 things about myself. I learned that I truly care about helping people and working in the creative space. Recently, I made the jump into, I kind of mentioned before, but social media marketing. So I have a whole video on this, but my husband and I started a company together. We do video production and marketing, and I find it so interesting because we get to work with a lot of different businesses. So yes, it is one career, it's one thing, but I get to work with so many different types of businesses, and this has been so exciting for me. Now, if you're here for investing, there is still something for you. But if your goal is overall self-improvement, then we've got a lot in common. And I'm hoping that this channel will help us do that together. So partly because of life being busy and me still kind of figuring myself out, I didn't feel like I could be posting on YouTube because I didn't know how quite to present myself. But now I know that what's meaningful is showing up and not being perfect to be successful. I kept starting and giving up because I didn't fully trust myself. So I never had the proper discipline or routine to keep myself going. My fear of trying and failing was becoming so crippling, all because it didn't go the way I wanted to in my first go round. So I really had to make some changes and some promises to myself. And I think that's the true definition of self-care. I spent years thinking that self-care just meant, going to the spa, going to get massages, getting my nails done. And don't get me wrong, I still love those things, and I do think they are important to give yourself that time to just relax and unwind from just your busy day-to-day life. But self-care is so much more than that. It's deeper than that. It's showing up for yourself even when things feel tough, even when I don't feel like it. My goal is to show up on this channel and for my business. And one thing I've really started to take seriously is planning and setting goals. Let me tell you, that has changed my life. One thing all the different self-help books have in common about having a millionaire mindset or how to be successful is showing up for yourself consistently. Now, there's a bunch of tips and tricks about different ways to do that, but it's prioritizing yourself and your goal and having the right mindset. So now, I make my vision boards, I go to the gym 3 times a week, I'm posting regularly, and I'm doing the things I said I was going to do. Don't let the doubtful, negative voices get in your head and tell you that you can't do something, because you can do it. I really think that most times I was my own worst enemy. If you made a promise to someone to be there for them to show up for something, it's likely that you would follow through and do that. So when it comes to yourself, make sure that you keep that same energy. Show up for yourself the same way that you would show up for other people. Now, for the next 30 days, the promises and goals I'm setting for myself are to continue to go to the gym 3 days a week, create a budgeting plan, and make at least 1 video on YouTube per week. Like I said, I've stopped and started so many times trying to figure myself out, but I finally feel like I'm putting the pieces together. Now, I want to challenge all of you to pick 3 things you want to improve on in different areas of your life. Mine are health and fitness, work, and finances. And I think those are, good areas to start if you're working on self-improvement, because those are the things that really impact our lives the most. Are you taking care of yourself? Are your finances in order? And what are you doing to, even if you don't have your own business, what are you doing to advance your career? But yeah, for 30 days, just keep the promises that you're making to yourself and see how that changes your life for the better. Showing up for yourself might be the only hack you need to become successful. Now let's grow together and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.